Risa, a woman in her 30s, has finally managed saving up enough money after 5 years of continuously working in corporate to chase her dream and open her very own Boba Teashop. It is the grand opening tonight and she is very excited to finally serve her very first customer. As soon as Risa flips the open sign, customers start pouring in, happy that a Boba Teashop has finally opened in the area. One customer, being a young girl, suggests Risa should add new options to the menu, including strawberry, as there would be much more demand. She thinks it's a good idea and plans to think more about it as she heads home. Risa tries to close for the day when all of a sudden a strange-looking woman rushes in, saying she saw Risa try to close, but she decided to jump in to get one last drink before closure. Risa controls her temper and decides to serve this customer as well, but she has the choice to also be mean and rude to her and ask her to leave immediately. It would be kind of understandable, because somebody's coming in, rushing in just like that, scaring the owner at the last minute. Risa cleans up and closes up for the day, coming back to the shop the next day, introducing coffee to the menu. Thanks to the little girl who visited the shop yesterday, Risa has also brought fresh strawberries to add for special orders. Opening up for the second day, she gets a familiar customer who works in construction. The day before when he visited, he said that he will be seeing how the boba tea is, and by coming back, he displays how he liked it. This time around, he is overjoyed seeing that coffee is a new addition, ordering one as he works long hours at night. He then explains that he will be running maintenance on the electrical circuit, so Rosa should be prepared that there will be power outage. Not much later, the little girl from the day before comes, and as she suggested, she orders strawberry flavored boba tea. As she leaves, a new customer appears while the electricity turns off and on. Risa knows from the electrical worker that he was going to do works, so she doesn't get too concerned about it. As she starts serving the new customer, a horrifying sight behind her makes her jump, seeing someone falling from the roof. As she hears no screaming and no one saying anything, she double checks to see if what she saw was an actual person or if she just imagined it. Thinking it might have been the dark making her see things, she dismisses it. Getting a phone call right after, the electrical worker informs Risa that he finished the maintenance work and she shouldn't be experiencing any more power outage. She then closes up for the day and returns the next night. For the third night, it is raining heavily outside, so she thinks she might not get many customers. As a new addition to the menu, she has brought chocolate, hoping the variety of options will attract more customers. Soon after flipping the open sign, a regular comes back for a drink. After serving the customer, she starts to have a small talk, talking about the woman who fell from the building last night, someone who was working in corporate with the stress taking over. So it's unveiled what Risa saw last night was not part of her imagination, but it actually happened. She is horrified to hear this, especially as she knows the stress involved with corporate job far too well. She gets an immense, overwhelming feeling, thinking how choosing to leave corporate was possibly one of the best decisions that she could make. Despite the heavy rain outside, it seems her bobas are quite irresistible as more and more familiar faces and regulars show up to get their daily fix. As she serves more and more customers, getting more suggestions, she sees a familiar face going straight to the restrooms without making any orders or announcements. This man came to the shop the first day and tried his luck getting Risa's number. Risa doesn't think much of it, thinking he will come out any minute to order, or maybe he just wanted to use the toilet. As time passes and Risa serves more customers, she starts worrying about the guy in the restroom. It seems as if hours pass when it is closing time. She goes to check on the man when she opens both the stalls, surprised not to find anyone there. Feeling as if she is sure she saw the man go in and never go out, she doubts herself. As she turns to leave the restroom, she sees the man standing at the door, staring at her in a menacing way with a creepy smile. As she calls to him, He doesn't answer. She feels creeped out, but approaches him when he aggressively runs towards her, going into one of the stalls. She feels horrified and scared, but decides to knock on the door and ask him to leave. He doesn't respond, so she opens the unlocked door, horrified even more to see it's completely empty. She doesn't know what to think anymore, telling herself that she needs to get professional help. Maybe it's the long nights getting to her. But this was too real just to be an imagination. She quickly cleans up and closes the shop. Next day, she sees a psychologist who doesn't think anything is wrong and simply says it's all in her head due to the stress. Either way, Risa returns to work the next day as work is picking up and she knows she needs to work hard, at least in the beginning, to make her new shop running smoothly. In the shop, she gets a telephone call from her psychologist who instructs her if she sees things again, she should try to distract herself and turn away, trying to take deep breaths and relax. If the things she sees don't go away, she should probably close up early and go home to relax. As she opens for the next day, more and more customers start showing up. That's until a man appears, ordering a drink. He starts a conversation in an ambiguous manner, explaining how she runs a business and it's not easy. He then rants about an employee who ran away from her responsibilities and he had to clean up the mess she left behind when he finally managed to find a replacement. While talking, the woman who rushed into the shop in the first day slowly and in a bizarre manner limps behind him, not making any announcements. She looks just as pale as before, as if she is extremely cold. The sight makes Risa panic, but she tries really hard to distract herself by listening to the man. She soon leaves, thanking Risa, and the woman behind her is nowhere to be seen either. Risa starts panicking, thinking the woman might be part of her imagination. Would that also mean the same woman who appeared at the closing time was part of her imagination? She thinks about what the man said, realizing what he meant by running away wasn't simply quitting, but actually he is talking about the woman who lost her life falling from the roof. She feels an immense knot gripping her stomach, thinking to herself, what if the limping pale woman could be the essence or the spirit of the fallen woman? This could mean that she is being hunted. Fear grips her and she starts panicking, but she realizes what the psychologist told her to distract herself. Thankfully, a new customer soon arrives, making Risa engage her mind with a task of making a drink. After the customer leaves, she starts serving more and more customers when she almost forgets about what she saw earlier, coming the closing time. As she plans to mop the floor, she becomes horrified seeing blotches of blood on the floor through the path the limping woman walked. She questions her sanity, as how could this be possible if it is only her mind playing tricks on her? She mops the floor and closes up the shop as quick as possible as her nerves get the better of her. Coming back the next night, Risa thinks to herself that it's just possibly stress and she has a business to run, so she must be steadfast and get her shop becoming successful. The first customer for the day is the electrical worker who compliments her Boba Teas as he finally had a try. As he orders the drinks, Risa sees the dead woman sitting on one of the stools. Fear grips her body and she starts panicking. As this customer leaves, she tries to ignore the ghost by looking away and distracting herself by different customers. But as she turns back from her tea desk, she gets frozen in her place, seeing the ghost lady being behind the counter, staring Risa in the eyes. She orders a drink and threatens Lisa if she is not fast enough, something terrible will happen to her. This makes Risa even more nervous. She does her best to serve her fast, panicking, almost losing her consciousness and fainting. But as she manages to do it fast, the ghost lady walks out, even being generous enough to pay. She starts feeling sick, not wanting to work anymore. But as she tries to leave, a man appears claiming to be the health inspector. He explains he needs to inspect the place for cleanliness standard, instructing her to work as normal as his work will take some time. Just as she wanted to leave, she feels trapped inside her own shop. She is forced to keep the shop open for some more time until the inspector is done checking the place. After an hour or so, the inspector leaves and Risa closes the shop without even cleaning up as she feels completely overwhelmed by seeing the ghost. Returning the next day, she thinks to herself how she is slipping further and further into insanity, not knowing what to do. She doesn't even know what's real anymore. She feels like nothing is real. However, she has a shop to run and it has always been her dream. She doesn't have any other sources of income either, so she must carry on working in the shop. This dream starts feeling like a nightmare, but something she hopes to be soon over. As she opens up for the day, a new customer appears. Serving the customer, she is yet again haunted by ghostly visions and sights. She feels like she's losing her mind and that will be a daily norm for her. As the customer leaves, the lights keep turning off and on when another ghost appears in her shop. As more customers appear wanting to be served, more ghosts appear in the store, which starts to give Risa a panic attack. She tries to look away, but the shop is filled by the ghosts having glowing red eyes. As the shop is getting more filled up with ghosts of customers that she even served, she doesn't know what she sees as real or fiction anymore. She then sees a ghost following her when in fear, she just runs as fast as she can, hiding in the mop locker. Tears roll down her face, feeling an overwhelming anxiety and fear that she has never felt before. As the ghost approaches the locker, the desk ringer starts ringing with moans of a customer. The ghosts have disappeared and she sees a grumpy, rude regular who is impatiently buzzing the ringer. As she comes to the desk, the impatient and entitled customer goes on a full-on Karen mode, lecturing Lisa how irresponsible and lazy she is for leaving the counter and how she needs to hurry up as otherwise she will lose her customers. She then goes on criticizing her drinks and how insignificant they are and insulting her shop how there are no other customers. She goes on ranting more and more when the day is abruptly cut short and the perspective changes to a customer. The customer rushes into the shop wanting to use the toilet, but understanding that he should probably make an order. As he approaches the desk, encountering a smiling Risa, he asks her for a drink and permission to use the toilet. Risa in a strange manner explains that the toilet is only for staff members, even though it is clearly for customers. As Risa gets busy making the tea, the customer cannot hold himself anymore, sneaking to the toilet when she sees something horrifying. The customer who was nagging at Risa has been killed by her, with her corpse stuffed in the toilet stall. It seems as if the stress was too much to handle for Risa, and having a caring customer was the final straw, making her snap and kill her. It's been a day since she killed this customer, who even decided to keep the shop running, despite having stuffed a corpse in the toilet. This reveals Risa's determination in running the shop, not stopping at any cost. Whether that would be seeing ghosts, being chased by them, having her life threatened, or even killing and stuffing corpses of annoying customers in her shop, absolutely nothing would stop her. This new customer being horrified by what they see, they run to the door, but Risa acts quickly and knocks them unconscious. As the customer regains their consciousness, but being too weak to move, they see how they are being dragged by Risa, who explains no matter how many shadows come to the shop, how many customers are grumpy and insult her and see her as a failure, she lets nothing stop her, as her Boba shop is her sanctuary and her dream. When she takes the customer to the toilet and uses a hacksaw, seemingly to dismember both corpses and dispose of their bodies. That's when we see time passing and Risa smiling wide with a new range of Boba teas, welcoming more customers, smiling in a menacing and deranged manner with nothing behind the smile, just an empty husk. And on that note, the story comes to an end. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to stay tuned for more. As always, it's been your host Star. Thanks for being here, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.